the family were going to celebrate. They were going to have a big party, you know.
To celebrate his life?
Because he was 100, yeah. But I said, hang on, he's been dead 12 years.
Yeah, I know.
That would make any difference, you know, he would have still been 100. Well, he wouldn't have been 100. You know, it's like me saying that my father would have been 100 today if he lived. But he didn't live. You know, he's been dead 22 years.
Oh, no, yeah. My wife says exactly the same.
It's absolutely weird, isn't it? You know, so
it's good to remember.
It's good to remember.
Loved ones,
but
how far back would you go?
Yeah, that's all. You know, it's just slightly ridiculous. Now, the news to lift the spirits: G&T is now the nation's favourite tipple. So says the headlines in one of the national newspapers. Apparently, you could buy gin advent calendars, gin marshmallows, and even gin cheese. Bob. Gin cheese, yeah, you had gin cheese, have you? It's no surprise that the Spirit has been named as the nation's favourite ticket, albeit, of course, in the more traditional form of G&T. I did see the gin advent calendars, and I was really rather tempted to buy one, but the trouble was they were quite expensive, about 40 quid, and you got a little tiny miniature bottle of gin, different flavoured gins in each of them.
They do for everything. They do cheeses as well, these advent calendars.
Gin has become incredibly popular.
Yeah.
You know, it used to be the sort of older person's drink, wasn't it? So your grandmother would have a gin and tonic.
Yeah.
But it's now become very fashionable, and there are some lovely new gins available on the market.
Yeah, designer gins. Yeah. Majestic Wine,
artisan production facilities popping up all over the place to produce gin.
Yeah.
And amazing varieties. I had one the other night. Which was I don't quite know what it was. Sort of a vanilla flavoured gin, I think, is the nearest thing I can describe it. It wasn't sweet in any way, but it had that sort of vanilla essence about it. It was lovely. It was absolutely lovely.
Is there a time of day to drink gin?
Yes.
I'm a little bit of an innocent.
Yes. 8 o'clock in the morning onwards.
yes. From about 8 o'clock in the morning till about 7:30 the following morning. I think. That's about the right sort of time.
Maybe 7:45 following.
7:45. Well,
depends how you feel.
As long as you've got a 15-minute gap in any 24, you're okay.
Yeah, you're okay. So
I must mention cheeses. We had an unfortunate thing. Well, we were given
we're talking about gin.
No, but there was a bottle of wine with it.
Yeah.
I was given this present, which was from last year, because we didn't see the person who gave the present because we had flu. We didn't get to the family gathering. So this was taken home by my brother-in-law, who gave us his present at this family gathering last weekend. And it was a lovely box with a bottle of wine and a number of very good English cheeses. Only they were a year old and they'd not been refrigerated. So when we opened it at home, not realising it was last year's present, it wanted to walk out the door. At least the wine was all right.
Right, on the subject of food and gin, is there a select food that you would eat with gin?
Yes, cheese.
Bit cheese.
Cheese goes well with almost anything. I would say Serrano ham's very good with gin.
Yes.
Serrano ham. I'd say. Oh look. As if magic.
Apparently now...
A big piece of Serrano ham has just appeared in front of me, listener.
Apparently now you can get some exotic flavouring within gin, such as seaweed and rhubarb. Apparently there's a Christmas gin available with frankincense and myrrh added.
What is frankincense and myrrh?
It's a spice, isn't it?
Yeah, spices.
But despite the large rise in popularity, gin still has got a little way to go before it beats whiskey and vodka in terms of sales.
I'm not a great gin lover.
Never those. Well, I never used to be, but now I do enjoy good gin. But the only way to serve a gin properly is in a tall glass full of ice, and then you put the gin in it and a splash of lime.
What about a tonic?
What, and spoil it? Yes, you do put some... I worked for an aristocrat once, and he was teetotal. In fact, he used to drink probably about at least a case of Diet Coke every day.
Bill Allen.
But he was very generous when he poured a gin and tonic, because he hadn't got a clue, and he would 3/4 fill the tumbler with gin and then top it up with tonic and then pass it over to me and say, "Mr. Barry, is that okay for you?
Would you like a touch more gin?"
And I'd say, "My lord, that's lovely, thank you very much."
Who was this?
Did you know 18 out of the last 20
Aristocrat.
studies about fizzy drinks like Diet Pepsi and Coca-Cola and all these sort of drinks say they really are responsible for the global obesity issue.
Oh, yes.
It is...
But it's the fizzy drinks in it, not the...
It's the fizzy drink element of it.
Yeah.
There's whether it's sugar laced, which many of them are, or even whether it's got a sugar substitute.
Yep.
They still all contribute to our bodies laying down more fat than they need to, and the obesity crisis.
This probably won't affect very many of us because our children, we've all got children, but they're all slightly older. But the headlines, again in one of the national papers, says, "Don't let your children drink wine with a meal." Don't underline, because it said middle-class parents are risking their children's health by allowing under 14-year-olds to have alcohol with meals.
A lot of rubbish.
Absolute rubbish.
Yeah, they've been doing it in France for donkeys, and Italy.
Yep.
Yeah, look at the state of France.
I don't know, and Italy. You know, I mean, Italy, they go around, all the blokes go around pinching girls' bums and all that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And that's all down to the drink, you know.
Is that right?
Yes, because if you drink too much, you lose all your inhibitions, which is why I have no inhibitions with my two-tone, you know, because I drink too much.
Indeed.
You know, it's as simple as that.
The Japanese are funny when they drink too much. They go red.
Yeah?
Yeah, you wouldn't believe that, would you? But they do. And they get drunk very easily.
Well, they do, yeah. Well, they invented karaoke as well, didn't they?
Yeah, terrible thing. Hate it. Shouldn't have invented
so do I,
it. Ban
you know,
it.
it's
Ban it. Never done it. Don't want to do it.
Sitting down with a family for meals together is better for children, so researchers says. Oh,
Researchers. That's for researchers to say this.
Isn't that good, eh? You know, they experience better long-term physical and mental health, as well as improved social skills, scientists say. Well, I must admit that's very true, because I went out for a family meal last night because my daughter was 50 years of age, and at one stage there were 11 of us at the table, and 10... No, I lie. 9 of the 11 were sitting there with their phones out. And they're all punching away on their telephones.
Yeah, I know.
And I just looked down the table and I said, "Oh, I better get my phone out and play with it." You know?
They got no social graces anymore, have they?
No, I mean, it's diabolical.
Well, an important note here, pet peeve. Vets are warning against giving dogs chocolate this Christmas, because chocolate can actually kill dogs.
Kill a dog, yes.
Yeah, but people don't realise it. My dog actually ate a load of chocolate flakes I left in my car one day.
I do remember though.
It was okay, though.
I got chocolate. I used to buy
Choc drops. Yeah, but doggy choc drops, aren't they?
Are they? Is it different chocolate?
Yeah. Yeah,
I ate them. They tasted all right.
Yeah, well, they just taste a bit stale, don't they?
Yeah.
I've eaten them too.
Just
have you
sounds a bit rough
eaten
every
kitty
now and
cat?
No,
Cat
I
food.
did try something called Power once over there.
Are you barking mad?
It was pretty horrible, to be honest.
Yeah, it isn't it? It's not very nice. Although it doesn't do you any harm whatsoever.
Well, kitty cat's a bit like corned beef.
Corned beef, yes. I love a bit of corned
I
beef.
like corned beef too.
And spam.
Yeah, I like spam.
Spam.
Nice in fritters, isn't it?
Spam.
Spam and more spam.
Yes,
Spam.
Oh, here we go.
Spam a lot.
I knew I'd start something off, you know, but here we go again. This is old PC rubbish, isn't it? A university academic has come under fire for saying that natural history museums are, guess what, sexist and colonialist.
Natural history museums?
Sexist.
Why?
Well, because the thing is that said museums' collections were dominated by male animals with flashy antlers and showing feathers. This left females, often described as mothers, in the minority.
Absolutely.
It's and also, of course, the sexism, because there's a lot of, when you go around a museum, you know, you'll see lots of little nubile teenage girls stood in front of the naked Adonis, you know, stood there, and they're all going, "Oh, look, hasn't he got big thumbs?" You know, big something.
Political correctness can go absolutely bizarre, but it is true that there is a predominance of male sort of examples. It's because the male of the species tends to be more interesting.
King of the jungle.
I mean, peacocks are an excellent example where the male is is a very attractive beast, and the female is quite dull in comparison. I'd say lions and lionesses. Lions with their big mane look, you know, you don't see very often a lioness portrayed.
No, well, in the bird world, there is a very good reason for that, and that is the male has to attract a mate, and the female generally does the incubating and sits on the nest and needs to be more within the surroundings, camouflage and so forth.
Is it our beards?
Pigeons lose out a bit, don't they?
Is it our beards that makes us us males?
You're looking like a Noel Edmonds this morning, with your beard.
Do you think so?
Well, I think our beards make us the that's our peacock type expression.
Well, I'm only growing mine because I want to play Father Christmas for my great grandson, and my wife said yesterday, but he's only 2 months old. I said, yeah, but I'm growing it for next Christmas.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
by the time it's fully grown, you'll look like a proper Father Christmas.
I've played Father Christmas many times. I used to like it.
I played Father Christmas.
I used to get the mums to sit on my knee.
Can't do that anymore.
Say no more.
You can't do that anymore. What about this Damien Greenblatt? He's admitted all this now, hasn't he?
No, he hasn't.
This is the most shameful piece of... Look, I'm really not very keen on a Tory government, and I make no secret of that.
Really?
But I do think this is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the guy looked at some porn 10 years ago on his computer. It was a stupid thing to do.
Yeah, but don't you think this porn's being planted on people's computers?
What the police have done is absolutely offensive to every single one of us, because now where is our trust in the police? It has been, it's been damaged a lot by things like Hillsborough. It's been damaged a lot by the clear falsification of
Stephen
evidence.
Lawrence.
The Stephen Lawrence case is another great example where police confidence, and this is just another. It is always the final nail in the you cannot trust a copper anymore, because they will manipulate your information to suit their own benefits. And the recent example of the 2 rape cases where the police failed to disclose information that would have proven that the guy was innocent is just another example. The police are not in anybody's good books at the moment.
He's now suing the police, isn't he? The latest news on that.
Yeah, good for him. And the police need to. There's a wake-up call that needs to happen in the police. We don't live in the police state. You're supposed to do a job, Mr. Policeman, if you're listening. You're supposed to do the job of protecting me as a citizen. You're not supposed to be finding ways to stitch me up.
When Robert Peel started the Metropolitan Police, it was to police by consent, and that has never changed. But they don't police by consent. They're almost a paramilitary force now, aren't they?
Well, they're out to get a conviction regardless of the truth of the matter, and that's been clearly demonstrated, particularly in these 2 sex cases recently. But I imagine that it's happening and all over the legal system. The police are not disclosing appropriate information.
We're luckier in this country than some other countries. In France, they've got the local police, the tourist police, the gendarmerie. They've got about so many different police. Well, everybody's a policeman in France, and that's it. Because if they want to go on strike, they just
On the note of the police, the Thames Valley Police, a message from the Police and Crime Commissioner Anthony Stansfield on Tuesday, 19th of December. The Home Secretary announced a substantial £450 million increase in police funded across England and Wales. However, this funding package assumes that all police and crime commissions (PCCs) will raise the police element of by council tax by an extra £1 a month or £12 a year for a Band D property, which effectively will raise 270 million of the 450 million increase. So the government's given nothing because the government hasn't got any money, is it? It's our money. And this will allow forces to continue to provide an effective service in their official work to fight crime and protect the public, which they don't do they? Well, in many cases.
Not enough of them to do.
No.
One of the big problems we've got, I believe that the police are being they're representing themselves very poorly in terms of the criminal justice system, but actually it represents a very small percentage of the work that the police actually do, because the majority of work that police officers tend to be involved in are dealing with mental health issues. They are a sort of protectors in terms of, you know, care in the community. They're the people that actually have to deal with care in the community. The number of people that are drunk and disorderly that they have to deal with, there might be 2 break-ins in one night, but 400 people have been arrested for being completely out of their brains and doing highly inappropriate things in the streets. So, I feel a bit sorry for the police because of the way in which they've been used.